There's something about you, isn't there? Something you've always felt but couldn't quite put into words. It's not arrogance, not pride, just a quiet knowing that you are different. You don't fit into the mold society has tried to place you in. The way you think, the way you feel, the way the world interacts with you, it's all a little off-center, yet deeply aligned. If you've ever felt this way, it's because you are one of the chosen ones. And the chosen ones, those few born to awaken, to lead, to illuminate, do certain things unconsciously. These actions, these patterns, are not learned behaviors, but innate spiritual gifts that emerge without effort, like breathing. So let's journey inward. Let me show you the first layer of this truth. And as I speak, I want you to ask yourself, are these gifts already alive in me?
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons.
First, let's talk about the way chosen ones navigate their environments. Have you ever noticed how you seem to know things without explanation? You walk into a room and can immediately sense the energy. It's like reading invisible threads of emotion, tension, or peace. You might dismiss it as intuition, but it's so much deeper. This is not just a feeling, it's a form of spiritual radar. The chosen ones possess an innate ability to read the grid. What I mean by this is that you are unconsciously connected to the energetic field of every space you enter. You might notice when someone is smiling but their soul is crying. You might sense danger before it manifests. But have you ever paused to ask yourself, why do I sense these things so effortlessly? It's because you are not just living in the physical world, you are living in the unseen dimensions simultaneously. You are tuned into frequencies that others are blind to. And this gift, this unconscious ability, is your first innate spiritual power, energetic perception. But here's the catch: this gift can feel like a burden if you don't realize it's a gift. You might feel overwhelmed in crowds, drained after interacting with certain people. You might even feel like there's no way to turn it off. But here's the truth: you don't need to turn it off. You need to learn how to let it flow through you. Imagine yourself as a river, allowing the energy to pass through without resistance. The moment you resist by trying to block it out or suppress it, you create tension within your soul. So I ask you, how can you learn to flow with the energy around you instead of fighting it? Now, let's move deeper. The second unconscious gift of the chosen ones is their ability to heal, often without even realizing it. Have you noticed how people are drawn to you when they're in pain? Friends, strangers, even animals, they come to you, seeking comfort or guidance. And you might wonder, why me? Why do they feel safe with me? It's because your very presence is healing. You don't have to say the perfect words or offer solutions. Your energy alone is a balm to the wounded. But here's the paradox: while you heal others unconsciously, you may find it difficult to heal yourself. You give so much of your energy without even realizing it, and this can leave you feeling drained, empty. It's as though your soul knows its mission is to uplift others, but in doing so, it sometimes forgets to uplift itself. So here's a practical question for you. When was the last time you allowed yourself to receive the same healing you so freely give to others? Take a moment to reflect on this. Chosen ones often carry the weight of the world, feeling like they must be strong for everyone else. But strength is not about carrying every burden, it's about knowing when to set some of them down. The third unconscious gift of the chosen ones is their ability to see beyond the surface. You don't just see people, you see them. You see their potential, their light, even when they cannot see it themselves. You see the patterns of the universe, the synchronicities, the signs, the divine design weaving through everyday life. You might notice repeating numbers, feel a deep connection to nature, or sense when the universe is speaking to you through coincidences. But with this gift comes responsibility. Because you see so clearly, you might feel frustrated when others don't. Have you ever felt like you're shouting into the void, trying to wake people up, but they just don't get it? This frustration can lead to isolation, making you feel like an outsider. But here's the wisdom: your role is not to force others to see. Your role is to shine so brightly that your light becomes a beacon. And those who are ready will find their way to you. So let me ask you this: how can you embrace the role of a lighthouse rather than a rescuer? How can you trust that those who are meant to awaken will awaken in their own time? Welcome back. Now that we've uncovered some of the unconscious gifts of the chosen ones, it's time to go deeper into the burdens you carry and the sacred strengths that lie beneath them. Being chosen is not an easy path. It's beautiful, yes, but it's also heavy. And if you're here, listening, I know you felt the weight of it. The world doesn't often understand people like you. You see things differently, feel things differently, and move through life in a way that sometimes feels utterly alien. But here's the truth: this difference, this otherness is your power. And within the struggles you face are the keys to your greatest strengths. Let's begin with one of the most profound challenges chosen ones face: the loneliness. Have you ever felt like you're walking a path no one else can see? Like no matter how much you explain your thoughts, your feelings, your vision, people still don't fully understand you? This isn't just in your head. It's part of the chosen experience. You see, when you are born with a connection to the unseen, to the divine, to the deeper truths of existence, you automatically exist on a frequency that not everyone can access. But here's the thing: this loneliness isn't a punishment. It's an invitation. An invitation to deepen your connection with yourself and the divine, to learn how to thrive in solitude. And here's a question that might shift your perspective: what if your loneliness is actually sacred? What if it's not about being disconnected from others, but about being deeply connected to something greater? This is one of your sacred strengths: the ability to be alone without losing yourself. Most people fear solitude. They need constant noise, distraction, validation. But you have the capacity to sit in the silence and hear the whispers of your soul. You may not have realized this yet, but your moments of isolation are where some of your greatest insights are born. So the next time you feel lonely, ask yourself, what is the universe trying to show me in this silence? Now let's talk about another hidden burden: the feeling of being too much for the world. Chosen ones often have big energies, big dreams, and big emotions. You feel things deeply: joy, sorrow, love, pain. It's like your soul is tuned to the highest highs and the lowest lows. And because of this, people might have told you to calm down, to be less emotional, to not take things so seriously. But let me tell you something: your depth is not a weakness. It's a gift. The world needs people like you, people who feel deeply, who care deeply, who dream beyond what others think is possible. Yes, it's exhausting at times. Yes, it can make you feel like you're carrying the weight of the world. But would you really want to live any other way? Would you trade your depth for shallowness, your passion for apathy? Here's a question for you: what if your emotions are not something to control, but something to channel? What if your intensity is the fuel for your purpose? When you embrace this part of yourself, when you stop apologizing for your bigness, you unlock an incredible strength, the ability to inspire others. Your fire becomes a torch, lighting the way for those who have lost their spark. Now, let's move to another sacred strength, one that often feels like a burden at first: your ability to transform pain into wisdom. Let me ask you this: how many times have you faced challenges that felt impossible to survive? How many times have you been broken, only to rise again, stronger and wiser than before? This is not a coincidence. Chosen ones are often put through intense trials, not because the universe is cruel, but because the universe knows you can handle it. You see, your soul came here with a mission, and to fulfill that mission, you needed to be forged in the fire. Every heartbreak, every loss, every failure, it was all preparing you. And now, because of everything you've endured, you have the ability to guide others through their own darkness. You can look someone in the eye and say, "I know how you feel. I've been there. And I can show you the way out." But here's the thing: this strength requires you to fully own your story. No more hiding your scars. No more pretending you've never struggled. Your pain is not your shame, it's your power. So let me ask you, how can you use your past to help others heal? How can you turn your wounds into wisdom, your struggles into strength? Finally, let's talk about the most sacred strength of all: your connection to the divine. Chosen ones don't just believe in something greater, they feel it. It's in your bones, your breath, your very being. You know, deep down, that there is more to life than what meets the eye. And this knowing is what sets you apart. But here's the thing: this connection isn't always easy to maintain. The world is loud, chaotic, full of distractions. It's easy to lose sight of your spiritual anchor, to get caught up in the noise. That's why it's so important for you to create space for stillness, for reflection, for communion with the divine. Whether it's through meditation, prayer, journaling, or simply sitting in nature, you need to nurture this connection. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. And here's a final question for you: what would your life look like if you prioritized your spiritual connection above all else? How would it change the way you move through the world, the way you approach your purpose? Welcome back. Now that we've uncovered your innate gifts and explored the burdens that shape your sacred strengths, it's time to step into the most profound part of this journey: awakening your purpose and mastering your path as a chosen one. This is where everything comes together: the gifts, the struggles, the wisdom, and where you take full ownership of who you are. Because being chosen isn't just about carrying these gifts, it's about using them. It's about becoming the embodiment of your divine purpose. I want you to pause for a moment and really feel this question: what if everything you've been through, everything you've felt, and everything you are has been preparing you for this moment? Let that sink in. Because that's the truth. The life of a chosen one is not random. It's not accidental. It's a sacred design, and the fact that you're here right now means you're ready to step fully into it. So let's begin. The first step to awakening your purpose is understanding that your life is not just your own. Let me explain. Most people live with a sense of separation. They think their actions, their choices, their existence only affects them. But as a chosen one, you are deeply intertwined with the collective. Your energy, your decisions, your growth, it ripples out into the world in ways you can't even imagine. This means that your purpose is not just about you. It's about what you are here to contribute to the world. It's about the lives you are here to touch, the light you are here to shine, the change you are here to create. And this doesn't mean you need to be famous or lead a massive movement. purpose isn't about scale, it's about alignment. It's about living in a way that honors your gifts and allows them to flow through you into the world. So let me ask you, when was the last time you felt truly alive, truly aligned with your soul? What were you doing? Who were you with? What energy were you embodying? These moments are clues to your purpose. They're like breadcrumbs from the universe, leading you back to your truest self. But here's the thing, living your purpose requires courage. It requires you to step out of your comfort zone, to face your fears, to let go of the things that no longer serve you. And this is where many chosen ones get stuck. Because let's be honest, change is terrifying. Stepping into your purpose often means leaving behind the life you've built, the identity you've clung to, the version of yourself that feels safe. But here's the deeper truth: the life you're clinging to is far smaller than the life you're capable of living. The identity you're protecting is far weaker than the soul you're becoming. So the real question is this: are you willing to let go of who you've been in order to become who you're meant to be? Now, let's talk about mastery. Mastery is not about perfection, it's about devotion. It's about committing to your gifts, your growth, your purpose, every single day. And this doesn't mean you'll never stumble, never doubt, never fall. It simply means you keep going, you keep showing up. You keep choosing your path, even when it's hard, even when it doesn't make sense, even when you feel like giving up. One of the most important practices for mastery is learning to trust yourself. As a chosen one, you've been gifted with incredible intuition, but how often do you listen to it? How often do you second-guess the whispers of your soul, doubting that inner voice because it doesn't align with logic or external expectations? Here's a truth you need to embrace: your soul knows the way. It always has. That quiet nudge, that gut feeling, that inexplicable pull, that's your inner compass, guiding you toward your purpose. The more you trust it, the stronger it becomes. The more you follow it, the clearer your path becomes. So let me ask you, what would your life look like if you stopped doubting yourself and started trusting your inner knowing completely? Another key to mastery is embracing discipline, not as a form of control, but as a form of devotion. Discipline is what allows you to hone your gifts, to strengthen your connection to the divine, to stay aligned with your purpose, even when the world tries to pull you off course. Whether it's a daily meditation practice, journaling, prayer, or simply setting aside time to reflect, discipline is what grounds you in your power. But here's the thing: discipline doesn't have to be rigid. It doesn't have to feel like a chore. It can be a sacred ritual, a moment of communion with your soul. So here's a practical question: what daily practice can you create to anchor yourself in your purpose and connect with your higher self? Now, let's talk about impact. As a chosen one, your purpose is not just about what you do, it's about who you are. Your energy, your presence, your way of being, it has a ripple effect on everyone you meet. This is why it's so important to live authentically. The more you embody your truth, the more you give others permission to do the same. The more you shine your light, the more you inspire others to find their own. But here's the paradox: to make the greatest impact, you must let go of the need to fix others. You are not here to save anyone. You are here to be a guide, a mirror, a spark. And the best way to do that is to live as the fullest expression of your soul. So here's a final question: how can you show up in the world as the most authentic, unapologetic version of yourself? As we come to the end of this journey, I want to leave you with one final truth: you are not here by accident. You are not listening to this by coincidence. You are here because your soul is ready to awaken, to step into its purpose, to embrace its gifts fully. Everything you've been through has prepared you for this. And now it's up to you. The path of the chosen one is not easy, but it is worth it. It's a path of growth, of service, of mastery. It's a path that requires you to trust yourself, to trust the divine, to trust the process. And as you walk this path, remember this: you are never alone. The universe is always with you, guiding you, supporting you, loving you. So take a deep breath, feel the power within you, and ask yourself, what step can I take today to honor my gifts, my purpose, my soul? The world needs you. Not a watered-down version of you. Not a version of you that's trying to fit in or please others. It needs the real you, the chosen you, the you that was born to shine. Go, live your truth, walk your path, and remember you are the light, and the world is waiting for you to shine.